Okay, Algebra 2, here we go. Today we're going to add and subtract rational expressions. So hopefully you feel pretty good about adding and subtracting fractions in general. You know that you need a common denominator, which thankfully this already has. And so we add the top and leave the bottom. So we get 5 over 5. So we add the top, we leave the bottom, and then we reduce. We're going to apply that same concept with some x's, with some variables in our fractions. So number one, we already have a common denominator. So we are going to add, or in this case, subtract the top, which leaves us with negative 4 over 2x. Add the top, subtract the top, and leave the bottom. And now we can reduce. 4 over 2 is 2 over 1, and so we have negative 2 over x. Done. Example 2. Here again we have the common denominator, and so we are going to subtract the top, but we want to make sure we subtract the whole top and not just the first term of the top. So what this is 9x minus x plus 2. Which is going to be 9x minus x minus 2 over, keep the bottom, 4x minus 1. So if we simplify some more, we get 8x minus 2 over 4x minus 1. And then hopefully you see that we can take a GCF out of the top, and we can actually take a 2 out of the top, which is good because that leaves us with 2 times 4x minus 1 over 4x minus 1, so the answer just simplifies to 2. Okay, now let's look at them without common denominators. Starting with the basic fraction. What do you do if you don't have a common denominator? Well, we need to multiply this one by 2, and we need to multiply this one by 2 so that they are common denominators. And so we have 4 over 10 plus 3 over 10. Once we get a common denominator, we add the top and leave the bottom. 7 over 10. Done. All right, so now we have number 3. Example number 3. We need a common denominator. So what we're going to do is we're going to factor this bottom so we can see what we have going on here. And this is x plus 1, x plus 2. That's how that factors. Multiply to be 2, add to be 3. So just like in our first example here, we were missing a multiple of 2, so we had to multiply in a 2. Now we're actually missing an x plus 2. So we're going to multiply in an x plus 2, and if we do it to the bottom, we also have to do it to the top. Now you just want to be really careful and follow the correct rules, the correct operations here. What you have on top here is x times x plus 2. And then over here, we have plus 4. Okay, so we need to add those together. So if you want, you can write it all out. We're going to have x times x plus 2 plus 4 over, denominator stays the same. So add the top and the bottom stays the same. Now we do need to simplify the top, which becomes x squared plus 2x plus 4 over x plus 1, x plus 2. Now what we want to check is we want to see, can we factor the top and cancel anything out? Is that capable of being reduced? So we're thinking, can we multiply to be 4 and add to be 2? And we can't, and it cannot be factored, and therefore that is as simple as that gets. Okay, so moving on to number 4. Let's factor the bottom. So this is going to be 3 times x minus 5. And over here we have x minus 5, x plus 1. Okay, so what is this first fraction missing? Well, we need to put in another, I'm going to change colors here so you can see what I'm adding in here. We're going to put in an x plus 1 because it's missing that. And so we're also going to put one on the top. Now they're still not the same because the first one has a 3 and the second one doesn't. So we're going to multiply in a 3 over here and so we have to multiply a 3 in over here. Okay, that's getting the common denominator. Now you need to use your algebra skills to figure out how this all works out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is multiply the top here. We have x times x plus 1, which is x squared plus x. And then we're going to have minus, I'm going to distribute that in, 6x minus 6. Remember that negative goes to the first term and to any additional term. So this is 6x plus 6, so it's minus 6x minus 6 all over 3 times x minus 5 times x plus 1. So we're going to simplify the top. We have x squared minus 5x minus 6 over 3 x minus 5 x plus 1. So now we need to see if that top can be factored. So we're thinking multiply to be negative 6, add to be negative 5, and it can. So that factors into x plus 1, x minus 6 over 3, x minus 5, x plus 1. So our x plus 1's cancel. Final answer, x minus 6 over 3 times x minus 5. Easy as that. Okay, now here are 2 additional problems for you to do on your own. Notice the first one already has the common denominator, the second one doesn't. So, do your best. We will go over these in class tomorrow, and have a great day.